Slow content?
Mm. As an answer as the attention crisis.
Well, the crisis with attention is often framed in a way that says we have to grab attention.
Mm.
And and that's hard in today's world because there's so much competition for attention. And that's usually the way it's, framed. The argument is framed up that we need to be somehow more controversial, more provocative, more, more basically, more, whatever that more is, more clickbaity, more, we have to somehow grab the attention of people because there's so much washing over their streams that you have to stand out. And there's an element of truth to that, but it's really dangerous. It's a really dangerous game to play because grabbing attention is not terribly difficult. I can get somebody's attention. Holding someone's attention is really important. That's the real key. And once you have someone's attention, holding it so that they want to continue their journey with you and continue more and more, um, whatever that next best experience you want them to have, that's where the magic really happens. And so, is that a function of slow content? Maybe I would rather sort of frame it up and say, this is just a really good argument that once you get someone to your website or once you get someone to your blog or once you get someone to your webinar, the content needs to be really good. And you need to be really, careful and considered about how you're treating the people who spend time with you. And so, I was working with a client just a couple of weeks ago where they said, we target small businesses and all we need them to do is raise their hand and say, I'm interested in talking with someone. And so, because once we get them on the phone with a salesperson, we can pretty much close them. And I said, okay, that's fine. And they said, so the content doesn't need to be very good. If it's spelled right and if it, but what we really need is like clickbaity stuff to make people go, what? And click on it and raise their hands. So really provocative questions or really. And I said, well, what's your close rate on that? And they said, and we started to look at the numbers. And as they started to add more and more clickbaity things, the attentions, yeah, they did get more people to raise their hands, but the conversion rate started to fall and fall and fall and fall because people would realize once they got somebody on the phone, there was nothing there. It was all a vacuum of nothing. And so you can fool people once by grabbing their attention and getting them to come to your website, but you won't fool them again. And so my advice is make that first meeting count. Make that first click count. When they get to your content, deliver way more value than you promised. And now you may attract fewer people, but the ones you get will stick around and stay. So is that slow content? I don't know. I don't maybe, I guess is the answer to that.